I, 46 male, am a single dad to my daughter Alexis, nearly adult. Alexis is transgender and came out 2 years ago. It's been a pretty big adjustment, especially for the older folks, particularly my grandmother, who's 92 and has mild dementia. Recently, my daughter had her nearly adult birthday. She already had a fun day out with friends planned. Still, my sister, who lives with my grandma and is her main carer, suggested we also have a family birthday party at Grandma's house. Alexis thought it was a great idea. By all accounts, the party went great until it was time for cake. Now, baking has always been my grandma's passion, and even in her old age, she still bakes and decorates cakes all on her own. She usually makes them for family gatherings and takes great pride in her work. My sister brought the cake out and the frosting read, "Happy birthday, dead name." As soon as she saw the cake, Alexis started crying and I quickly gathered our things and we left in a hurry. We had box cake and ice cream while we watched her favourite movie and I eventually got her feeling better. While that was happening, my phone blew up with texts from my sister, but I put her on mute while I comforted Alexis. After Alexis went to her room and started gaming, I looked over the texts from my sister. They started fairly normal, "Is she okay? Will you guys be coming back?" etc., and then devolved into accusing my daughter of being ungrateful and unstable. She said that Alexis should have put on a smile because Grandma worked so hard on the cake and it isn't my grandma's fault she's old, etc. I texted her back and said that Alexis didn't want to spend any more time with family today and that was a horrible thing to say about her. My sister responded with K. Most of my relatives are on my side, but I've been getting the silent treatment from my sister and Grandma. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Let me get this straight. Your sister wants you to believe that this was wholly the doing of the 92-year-old with dementia. So as caretaker of a 92-year-old with dementia, she felt solo baking was cool. Well, happy birthday to you too, OP, because clearly your sister thinks you were born yesterday. Yeah, this is such a BS excuse. There's no way a 92-year-old woman with dementia was baking alone. You can be damn sure if my grandma had dementia, I'd be hovering over her at all times to ensure she doesn't forget the cake in the oven, that she's doing everything right, isn't burning herself, etc. Even if they magically trusted her to bake solely on her own, it's not even vaguely tricky to wipe away the frosting with the dead name and say, "Sorry, Grandma, she changed her name, remember?" Or, "It's actually Alexis' birthday today, let's rewrite it." Instead, they use her dementia as an excuse to harm a kid. Hell, drop a spatula on the name and smear it on the way up at the very least. I might brace myself for some very nasty beliefs of OP's sister to surface over the text she sent. Am I paranoid for thinking it's very revealing that she immediately started referring to Alexis's reaction as unstable rather than bratty? I'm with you on this. I feel like the fact that sister chose the word unstable was more about her invalidating completely the entire legitimacy of trans identity. Like, she sees it as a mental disorder that needs curing. What excuse would your sister have if the cake had been accidentally addressed to a different grandchild or contained major misspellings? Would she have really brought it out and expected Alexis to be happy, or would she have found a way to remove the icing? Call her out. When she objects, call her unstable. Parrot back all her own language to her. Make it obvious what you're doing. Make it clear to her that she did this to your daughter. OP, I applaud you. I'm a trans woman too, and this kind of support from a parent means more than you know. Getting your daughter out of there was the best thing you could have done for her. Being trans is hard enough as it is, but having your name and identity disrespected in a way that seems so deliberate is a slap in the face. My male 42 wife, 35, and I have been married for a year. She has a daughter, teen, with her ex, and I also have 2 daughters from a past marriage. They're tween and pre-tween. We got married mainly because she lived in another country, and we needed to get married so she could get her visa easier, US. So it was rather rushed, and now we're planning to celebrate our wedding. They also moved in with me. I have a rather big house that has 4 bedrooms, a main one and 3 rooms, one for each of our daughters. Our issue now is that my wife is pregnant, 21 weeks, and we have a problem. We don't have an extra room for the baby. So we're both stressing out because of this, and adding the stress of the wedding, we plan on celebrating our wedding some months after she gives birth. I initially suggested that we could renovate the basement, which we use as a gaming room, and make that my stepdaughter's room. She said she didn't want to live in the basement, her mom supported her, so the idea was discarded. My wife suggested that my daughters should share a room since they're close in age. I refused to do that because each of them deserves their own space. This has been an ongoing discussion. Yesterday we discussed it again, and I told her that maybe her daughter should go live with her dad so we will have a room for each of our kids. She blew up at me, called me an idiot and all kinds of names because I wanted to send her daughter to another country. She said that if her daughter has to leave, then she and our baby will leave too. Now she's not talking to me. We're both stressed out, but I think she shouldn't insult or threaten me. I'm also not sure if I was the idiot or not. I tried to find another solution, but she refused to compromise. Edit: my daughters can't live with their mom because she passed away. The extension is possible, but we don't have the money unless we postpone the wedding. My wife doesn't want to postpone it though. My older daughter frequently has nightmares. She's in therapy. My younger one doesn't want to share with her sister because of it. It scares her as my eldest often wakes up screaming. The basement is not crappy. I want to make it more comfortable and safe. I showed them photos of how a basement bedroom could be nice, but they still didn't want to think about the idea. My wife doesn't want to move to the basement either. Yipes. Your children can't share a room, but her kid can go to another country, so she basically gives up custody. And what do you think visits will look like? You are 100% the idiot. Dude, it is perfectly acceptable for your daughters to share a room. However, it is not acceptable to suggest that your stepchild move out so you're not inconvenienced. Perhaps you should have considered this before impregnating your wife. You clearly don't value your stepdaughter and don't see her as family. You probably see her as unwanted baggage that happens to come with your wife, and your wife finally sees how it really is. Right? Where did all this "they deserve their own space" come from? I feel like all of my friends shared rooms with siblings. I shared with my sister until I was 16 and we moved houses. My husband always shared a room until he was well into his teens, and then it was a fake wall separating him and one brother. Sheesh, pretty sure many families don't have a choice about sharing, and neither does this guy. My sister's children, Harry, male tween, and Katie, female pre-tween, spent a night with us last week after her husband fell down the stairs and had to go to hospital. I'm currently pregnant with a baby girl. I'll be honest, I do believe in traditional gender roles. However, I understand this isn't a popular opinion and isn't for everyone. I definitely don't think anyone should be forced into living the way we do, but I enjoy taking care of my husband while he works hard to provide a life for us. My sister is the complete opposite of me. High-powered career, her husband is the primary caregiver to the kids and took time off work when they were little. He's a plumber, but even now he only does occasional freelance jobs for friends and family because my sister earns enough that he doesn't need to work full-time. I don't judge them on their lifestyle, nor do I think they judge ours. The kids were playing outside while I was making dinner, and as I was making more than usual, I asked Katie to come in and help me set the table. Harry asked if I wanted him to help too, but I only needed a little help. A while later, Harry got bored out there by himself and again asked if we needed any help, but we were almost done by then. Everything seemed okay, but when I took the kids home after their dad left the hospital, my sister asked if they had a good time. She wasn't pleased when she was told that I only asked Katie to help set the table and not Harry. Once the kids had gone inside, she said she wasn't happy with me forcing my beliefs onto her kids. I don't think I did force my beliefs on anyone. I didn't refuse Harry's help because he was a boy, but because I didn't need both of them helping me. Also, as I will soon be a mother to a baby girl, I thought it'd be nice to spend some one-on-one time with a little girl. I wasn't thinking about girls should do X and boys should do Y. I just did what worked at the moment. Am I the idiot? OP, kids don't know what's in your heart. Kids understand what you tell them and demonstrate to them. You demonstrated that girls should be asked to do chores, even if they don't want to, and that boys shouldn't help with housework, even if they do want to and are more capable. I'm assuming since he's older. Your sister is absolutely right here, and you are the idiot. Gender stereotyping sucks, and spending time with a random little girl isn't going to prepare you for having your own unique person. Little girl isn't a personality type. One of the most upsetting things I saw on pregnancy and baby message boards were mothers who turn their baby's biological gender into a personality trait. Little lady doesn't like a wet diaper. She's so dainty. Little man doesn't need snuggles. He's a boy. So-called traditional gender roles erase individual strengths and impose toxic narratives on children. That is so sad. My son is 7 and still comes for random hugs. How hard would it have been to let them both set the table? Obviously, the kids were playing together, and you singled your nephew out by not letting him help. Your belief in traditional gender roles prompted you to leave him out purposely or not. I'll call my friend Lucy and call her boyfriend Joe. I've never met Joe, but he and Lucy have been together for a year. Lucy is the type who's never single. She's beyond obsessed with her men and makes them her personality. If her boyfriend is into hunting, she likes hunting. If they're into the gym, she's into the gym, etc. Lucy is never without Joe, she goes with him to the barbershop, etc. Yesterday I had my baby shower. Lucy arrived in tow with Joe. My baby shower was at an event centre and we received RSVPs. We told the staff we had X people coming, now it was X plus 1. Joe was also the only guy in attendance, and I've never met him. I took Lucy aside and told her, I'm happy to have you here, but the invite was only for you. Lucy said, we'll be leaving then, and stormed off. I got texts from her last night saying I should understand they're a package deal and it wasn't a big deal that he came. She said she brought him because she didn't want to be lonely, and if I was a true friend, I'd understand. Am I the idiot? He wasn't invited, and he was the only guy there. Traditionally, only women are invited, so unless your invitation specified Lucy or Joe or Lucy and guest, then it's on them to make a false assumption that he'd be welcome. You're there to celebrate your pregnancy and your wee one with those you love and that love you. You don't know this guy from Adam, so he wasn't there to show you love and support. He was there because they're ridiculously attached at the hip. Not the idiot. Lucy and Joe are weird. And any relationship that doesn't have boundaries or personal space is, at best, cringe, if not toxic. Sounds like my ex and his third wife. He cheated on me several times in our short marriage, brought his future second ex-wife to the divorce hearing. He cheated on her and got his third wife pregnant while married to number 2. I've heard through the grapevine that number 3 keeps him on a short leash. He has yet to go to the grocery store by himself in the past 20 years. I'm sorry, he brought his new girl to the divorce hearing? LOL. Bringing someone to an event is peak rudeness when they haven't been invited. Even if she would have been lonely, your shower wasn't about her. Lucy sounds codependent and obnoxious. OP, you are not the idiot. The princess got a reality check. She'll get another one in 6 months when she's single and looking for the next person and personality to assimilate into becoming. Wow, you're an optimist. I gave her high-maintenance neediness 2 months at most before the boyfriend runs far and fast. Lucy sounds like a very insecure young woman who needs to help to find her centre. But this was your baby shower, and her ability to spend a few hours away from her boyfriend should not be your problem or your baggage. Having a baby on the way is quite enough to deal with. Furthermore, bringing him along threw off your guest count with seating and the caterer. She can stay home if she can't understand basic etiquette and the logistics of putting the shower together. My 22 male girlfriend, 23, and I have been dating officially for 4 months. Still, we had been non-exclusively dating for about a year before making our relationship exclusive. She had a birthday party last weekend, and it was disco-themed. I'm not a disco fan, but I went because I love my girlfriend. I showed up with a couple of friends, and after about an hour we were all getting tired of the music and decided to go out to the bars. I told my girlfriend I would come back to help her clean up. She asked me if I could stay, which meant a lot to her, but I just wasn't feeling the music and wanted to go. I told her I wasn't having much fun but would be back to help clean up and take her home. I left with my friends, and after 20 minutes she texted me and said don't bother coming back, that she had help from her friends and that her mother would take her home. Things have been really weird since then, and she told me what I did was rude and inconsiderate of her feelings and that she wanted me there. I told her at least I showed up even though that wasn't my type of setting and she should be grateful that I came, and I didn't need to be there the whole party. She started saying how she always does things that only spark my interest, which is true, but I reminded her that she isn't required to do that, and the conversation started to feel manipulative. I feel like she should be more grateful for what I do and not be stuck on the few things I don't. I feel like me at least showing up was really nice, and I even offered to come back and clean up, but she said no. She started backtracking and saying that she would understand if I went home, but was upset I left to go do stuff with my friends and not that I just left. But why should I have to stay home while she was out having fun? Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. Her saying she does things with you when she's not interested isn't being manipulative. It's her expressing she feels an imbalance in how you support each other. Not feeling the music is the lamest reason I've heard to date for leaving any party, let alone one's girlfriend's birthday party. Unless you're autistic and that music or theme triggered you, you seem too individualistic to be in a relationship. Be happy I showed up is something you say to a distant acquaintance that you don't even like. not something you say to your girlfriend. Not everything is for you. If you love someone, you're supposed to be at their birthday for them. Good grief, you are the idiot. And honestly, I'd be amazed if you still have a girlfriend in a week. Why do people get into relationships with this mindset? So he expects his girlfriend to be grateful to him that he briefly showed up to her party on her own birthday. Isn't the point of dating someone that you want to spend time with them? She's your girlfriend, dude. It was her birthday, and you brought friends to her party, hung out with them, and when they were bored after an hour, you dipped and went to a bar. You publicly humiliated her. Who walks out of their girlfriend's birthday party? She probably spent the rest of the night answering questions about where you went and why. You suck, bro.